Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're travelling along one of Britain's most historic railway routes, from Manchester Victoria to Liverpool Lime Street via the legendary Chat Moss line. This is far more than simply a railway journey between two great cities. We are about to travel over ground that changed the world forever. Much of the route ahead follows the original Liverpool and Manchester Railway, opened in 1830 and recognised as the world's first fully operational intercity passenger railway. Almost every mile of this journey has a story to tell, from pioneering engineering and famous railway landmarks to industrial heritage and beautiful open countryside. This line offers something for everyone. As always, sit back, relax and enjoy the journey from the driver's seat as we make our way westwards towards Liverpool. Our journey begins at Manchester Victoria, one of Britain's oldest and most historic railway stations. The railway has been at the heart of Manchester's success for nearly 2 centuries. During the Industrial Revolution, Manchester became one of the world's greatest manufacturing centres, and railways, such as this one, helped move millions of tons of goods and countless passengers across Britain. As we ease away from the platforms of Victoria Station, take a moment to appreciate the surroundings. Modern Manchester rises around us, yet hidden amongst the glass towers and new developments are traces of the city that helped shape the railway age. To the south lies the site of Liverpool Road Station, the original Manchester terminus of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Opened in 1830, it remains one of the oldest surviving railway stations anywhere in the world. As we leave the station throat behind, the line curves through the urban landscape of Salford and Greater Manchester. The railway here is busy throughout the day. Passenger trains, freight services and local commuter traffic all share this important route. Soon we pass through Salford Central, a station that serves the heart of Salford and offers excellent views of Manchester's ever-changing skyline. The contrast between old and new is particularly noticeable here. Historic brick warehouses stand beside modern office developments, reminding us how the city continues to evolve whilst retaining its industrial roots. As we continue westward, the line remains remarkably straight. This was a characteristic feature of the early railways. The engineers of the 19th century aimed to create routes that allowed locomotives to maintain speed and efficiency wherever possible. Ahead lies Earlestown Lane Junction, one of the most important railway junctions in northwest England. Here routes diverge towards Bolton, Preston, Wigan and Liverpool. For railway enthusiasts, this area is always fascinating because of the sheer variety of traffic that can be seen throughout the day. As we continue towards Eccles, the urban scenery gradually begins to open out. Eccles itself has a long railway history and has been connected to the railway network since the earliest days of railway travel. The area around here was once dominated by factories, engineering works and heavy industry. Today, many former industrial sites have been transformed into housing developments and business parks, yet the railway remains just as important as ever. Leaving Eccles behind, we continue towards Patricroft. This district played an important role during the Industrial Revolution. Engineering firms, foundries and workshops once flourished here, taking advantage of the railway and nearby waterways. As the train accelerates away from Patricroft, watch how the landscape slowly begins to change. The dense urban environment of Manchester starts to give way to more open countryside. Ahead lies one of the most remarkable engineering achievements in railway history. We are approaching Chat Moss. When George Stephenson and his engineers surveyed the route during the 1820s, many experts believed that crossing Chat Moss would be impossible. The moss is an enormous area of deep peat bog. In places, it was so soft that surveyors struggled simply to walk across it. Many critics argue that any railway built here would sink without trace. Newspapers mocked the project. Politicians questioned the plans. Rival engineers claimed it could never be achieved. Yet George Stephenson remained convinced that a solution could be found. The answer was ingenious. Thousands of tons of timber, brushwood and stone were used to create a floating foundation across the bog. Rather than attempting to dig down to solid ground, Stephenson effectively built the railway on top of the moss itself. Nearly 200 years later, trains continue to cross Chat Moss every day. It remains one of the greatest engineering triumphs of the railway age. And now we enter Chat Moss itself. The change in scenery is immediate and dramatic. After miles of towns, industry and suburban development, suddenly the landscape opens before us. Wide horizons stretch into the distance. The peatland extends for miles across the horizon. On a clear day, the views can be absolutely spectacular. The flat terrain creates a unique atmosphere unlike almost anywhere else in England. This section is especially beautiful during sunrise and sunset, when the sky reflects across the wetland landscape and creates magnificent colours. For railway enthusiasts, there is something truly special about travelling across Chat Moss. Every train that passes here follows one of the most historic railway alignments in the world. It is impossible not to imagine those first passengers in 1830 experiencing railway travel for the very first time as they crossed this seemingly impossible landscape. As we continue westwards, the line remains straight and fast, allowing excellent views ahead. Soon we begin approaching Newton-le-Willows, one of the most important locations on the entire route. This area is closely associated with the opening of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Nearby stood Parkside Station, where one of the most famous events in railway history took place. During the grand opening ceremony in September 1830, Member of Parliament William Huskisson was struck by Stephenson's locomotive rocket. The accident shocked the nation and became one of the first major railway incidents reported around the world. Today, Newton-le-Willows remains an important railway junction and a favourite location for train enthusiasts due to the variety of passenger and freight traffic that passes through. As we approach the station, keep an eye on the tracks around us. Connections towards the West Coast Main Line and other routes make this a particularly busy section of railway. As we leave Newton-le-Willows behind, we continue westward along a route that has witnessed nearly 2 centuries of railway history. The railway through this area remains one of the busiest in the northwest, carrying local commuter services, long-distance passenger trains and freight traffic between Liverpool, Manchester and destinations beyond. Ahead lies Earlestown. For railway enthusiasts, Earlestown is a name that carries considerable significance. The station developed as an important railway centre during the 19th century and quickly became one of the busiest junctions in Lancashire. Its distinctive island platforms remain one of its most recognisable features today. For generations of railway workers, Earlestown was a place of constant activity, with trains arriving and departing in every direction. Even today, there is a wonderfully traditional railway atmosphere about the station. As we pass through, imagine the sight of steam locomotives once working hard here, hauling express passenger trains, mineral wagons, and goods services throughout the industrial northwest. Beyond Earlestown, the railway continues across relatively flat countryside. Although modern development has spread across much of the region, there are still glimpses of open land between the towns and villages that line the route. The line ahead remains remarkably straight, another reminder of the ambitious engineering standards adopted by the builders of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Before long, we arrive at St Helens Junction. The name itself tells an important story. This location was once a key connection between the Liverpool and Manchester Railway and the rapidly growing industrial town of St Helens. Coal, glass and manufactured goods all travelled through this area in enormous quantities. The industries of St Helens helped power Britain's economy during the 19th and 20th centuries, and the railway was absolutely essential to their success. Many freight trains still pass through here today, continuing a tradition that stretches back almost 200 years. Leaving St Helens Junction behind, we continue towards Lee Green. This modern station serves one of the growing residential areas between Liverpool and Manchester. The line remains busy throughout the day, reflecting the close economic ties that continue to link these two great cities. The electrification of the route has transformed services in recent years, providing quieter, cleaner and faster trains while preserving the historic alignment established by George Stephenson and his colleagues nearly 2 centuries ago. Ahead now lies one of the most famous names in railway history, Rainhill. Even people with only a passing interest in railways have often heard of the Rainhill Trials. Back in 1829, before the Liverpool and Manchester Railway opened, a competition was organised to determine the best method of powering trains. Several different locomotives entered the contest. Engineers and inventors arrived from across Britain, hoping to demonstrate their designs. The eventual winner was George Stephenson's Rocket. Rocket's success proved beyond doubt that the steam locomotive represented the future of railway transport. The influence of that decision cannot be overstated. Without the success of Rocket at Rainhill, the development of railways around the world might have taken a very different path. As we pass through Rainhill Station today, it is remarkable to think that this seemingly ordinary suburban location played such an extraordinary role in transport history. Millions of railway passengers across the world owe something to the events that took place here almost 200 years ago. Leaving Rainhill behind, the route begins to feel increasingly suburban as Liverpool gradually draws closer. The next station is Whiston. The surrounding landscape reflects the long industrial history of Merseyside. For centuries, this region was associated with mining, quarrying and manufacturing. The railway provided a vital link between these industries and the ports of Liverpool. Although many of those industries have disappeared, the railway continues to serve the communities that grew up around them. The journey now begins to gather a slightly different character. The open spaces become less frequent. Housing developments become more common. Roads, bridges and local infrastructure increasingly surround the railway. This is a clear sign that we are approaching one of Britain's great cities. Soon we arrive at Huyton. This important station sits at a major railway junction. Routes diverge here towards Wigan and the northern approaches to Liverpool. Historically, this area handled enormous volumes of railway traffic and remains an operationally important location today. For train enthusiasts, there is always something interesting to observe around Huyton, whether it be local passenger services, engineering trains, or freight workings. As we leave Huyton, Liverpool's outer suburbs begin to spread around us. The railway here has become part of the everyday lives of countless communities. For generations, people have used these trains to travel to work, visit family, attend football matches, or simply explore the region. The railway has connected communities for almost 2 centuries and remains just as important today. Our next stop is Robbie. This station may appear modest, but like so many along the route, its history stretches back deep into the Victorian era. One of the pleasures of travelling this line is the way it combines world-changing railway history with the everyday reality of modern rail travel. Every station tells a story. Every bridge has witnessed generations of trains. Every mile has played its part in the development of Britain's railway network. Beyond Robbie, the railway continues towards Wavertree Technology Park. This station serves a modern business district that highlights Liverpool's continuing economic development. Yet even here, the railway remains the thread connecting past and present. As we move steadily closer to the city centre, signals become more frequent. The number of tracks increases. Railway infrastructure becomes denser. All of these are classic signs that we are approaching a major terminus. And then, ahead of us, appears one of the most historic locations on the entire route: Edge Hill. For railway historians, this is truly special ground. Edge Hill is among the oldest surviving railway stations anywhere in the world. When the Liverpool and Manchester Railway opened in 1830, Edge Hill formed a crucial part of the route into Liverpool. Nearby lies the famous Wapping Tunnel, regarded as the world's first tunnel driven beneath a major city. Now, the engineering achievements accomplished here during the early 19th century helped establish the foundations of modern railway construction. As we pass through Edge Hill, it is worth reflecting on just how much railway history surrounds us. The pioneers of the railway age worked here. The earliest passenger trains passed through here. Some of the world's most influential railway developments took place here. Few locations anywhere can claim such a rich railway heritage. Beyond Edge Hill, the railway begins its final approach into Liverpool. The route descends through cuttings and tunnels as it makes its way towards the city centre. The atmosphere changes noticeably. Daylight becomes intermittent. Tunnel portals appear ahead. Signals flash past beside the cab. The sound of the train echoes from the walls around us. For many railway enthusiasts, approaches like this represent some of the most exciting moments of any journey. You can sense the anticipation building as one of Britain's great termini draws ever closer. Gradually, the tunnel gives way to daylight once more. The tracks fan out. Platforms begin to appear. And then the magnificent overall roof of Liverpool Lime Street comes into view. Liverpool Lime Street is one of Britain's most iconic railway stations. For generations, it has served as the gateway to one of the world's most famous maritime cities. Millions of passengers have begun and ended their journeys beneath this great train shed. The station remains every bit as impressive today as it was during the great age of railway expansion. As we gently roll towards our platform, our journey along the historic Chatmoss line comes to an end. What a remarkable railway this truly is. From the industrial heart of Manchester, across the engineering wonder of Chatmoss, through the historic locations of Newton-le-Willows, Earlestown and Rainhill, and finally into the magnificent surroundings of Liverpool Lime Street. Few railway routes can match the combination of history, engineering achievement and operational interest found along this line. It is a journey that every railway enthusiast should experience at least once. Whether your interest lies in railway history, locomotive operation, industrial heritage, or simply enjoying a wonderful railway journey, the Chatmoss line offers something special. Thank you very much for joining me on this driver's eye view journey from Manchester, Victoria to Liverpool Lime Street. I hope you've enjoyed travelling along one of the most historic railways in the world. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, leave a comment below and let us know your favourite location along the route. Don't forget to share the video with fellow railway enthusiasts and subscribe to the channel for many more railway adventures from across Britain and beyond. Thank you once again for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you on our next railway journey.